Hey guys, welcome back to Bear's Corner. It's Emily here, and yes, I still have my camera broken, and yes, it's still bad quality, and yes, I did rearrange my bookshelf. I got more books. Let me just walk you through it real quick. Contemporary romance, sort of here, and then outside of this, it's going to be like just contemporary. And then these are like my series / fantasy books. These are books that I don't know, there's something. This Fault in Our Stars should go up there, but I don't know, just to go with the theme. Like, I don't know. And then back here are books that I don't like, doesn't matter. And these are my elementary and mid-grades that I don't ever read, but I will maybe one day. But today we are not talking about my bookshelf. We are talking about the book Mosquitoland. Probably can't see it because, again, bad quality. But today we're going to be talking about the book Mosquitoland. This book, let me just tell you, it is amazing. It follows a girl named Mary Iris Malone, aka Mim, which is an acronym. Knee slap. No, I'm just kidding. She made it in the book. She said in the book. She called it an acronym. It's the first letters of Mary, Iris, and Malone, and she calls herself Mim. She has a mental health disorder called psychosis, and nobody really tells her that she has psychosis, but she's overheard them talking about it, and she knows that she goes to the doctor, and she knows she takes pills, but instead of just saying, hey, I'm strange, she says, hey, I'm strange, and I accept it. Her and her mother and her father get a divorce, and her father moves all the way to Mississippi and brings her with her and marries a new lady named Kathy. Kathy is her stepmother. She views her as evil, even though she's pretty much just caring for her. But she, you know, who wouldn't hate your stepmother if your father just left your mother, you know? One day they call her down from the principal's office, and she walks right outside the door and listens and hears about a sickness and her mother, and straight away she thinks it's cancer. So instead of going inside the principal's office like any normal person would do, she gets on a bus with a bunch of money and leaves to Cleveland to go see her mother. Throughout this whole entire journey with the bus, a lot of stuff happens. She meets some good friends, she meets fake friends, she meets horrible people, she meets a little bit of love interest sort of friend, and just overall it's a really good book with a really interesting story. Throughout this whole entire book, she writes letters to her Aunt Isabel. And, sorry, I had to swallow, that was weird. She writes a letter to her Aunt Isabel. Throughout these letters, she gives reasons of why she's going to see her mother and what the reasons are and why she just wants to have closure in her life. And all of these letters pertains a certain backstory and the ways that she remembers her mother, and the ways that she remembers her father, and the way that she remembers her aunt too. After she has letter, each chapter contains like a letter, and then after I have like a little B, and then it shows like real life. So the first two chapters that I read, the first chapter was literally just a line, and the second chapter it got into a letter, and I was just like, what the heck am I reading? I'm so confused. I wasn't confused, I was just not really into it, I guess. And I was just like, okay, no, I'm not reading this book. And this is when I got all these books, aka at the same time. This is the book that I was least excited to read, and I was like, I don't know. So I read the first two chapters, and I was like, no, I can't do it. Then I was like, you know what, me being me, I'm gonna look up some book reviews. And so I looked up some book reviews, and they sort of it was okay. I love the book reviews. There was no freaking good book review. I was like, what the hell? This isn't even probably a good book review. Like, what the hell? I can't even see a good book review. But it's fine. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get back into it. So about like 15 minutes later, I went and I read the book. And honestly, I got halfway through the book that night. Because I started at like 7? I started at 7. And then I ended at 9 halfway through the book. It's a pretty good read. Short read, pretty much. I read it in about a day, if you think about it, because I read it at night. And then I finished it the next morning. So, a day? I finished it in a day. Pretty good read. The first, you will be kind of confused in the first two chapters, but then after that you get it and you understand what's the whole thing going on. But again, it might be because I was also watching YouTube at the time I was reading the first two chapters, so maybe that's why. I'm not sure. But, I give this book a 4.8 out of 5 stars, and I know you're just like, Emily, it's a 4 or 5 stars, you pick one. But no, I feel like this book portrays such good mental illness. Like, I think that it portrays mental illness in a great way. It shows how she has mental illness, but she gets through it, and she thinks, hey, I'm great. Yes, I can do things on my own. Yes, I'm strange, but I accept it, and hey, if people don't like me for that, F it, like, you know. So I think it portrays mental illness so well. I think that when you dive into the book, ooh, I cannot figure out my words today. Ooh, when you dive into the book, you understand that it isn't just her with mental illness problems. There's multiple characters in this book with mental illness problems too, and they're different mental illness problems. So it's not just, hey, she has psychosis. There's people with depression, anxiety, drug abuse. There's a lot of people that are like in here. There's a lot of diversity in mental health, and I think that's really great. But the thing is that in certain books, they have a bunch of mental health problems, and you're just like, okay, well, that just doesn't fit into the story because it just doesn't follow the main character. No, it strings into the story so well, and you understand every single thing, how it affects each person in her life. I give it 4.8 out of 5 stars, and that is because in the middle it sort of got a little bit slow. I think some of the details could have been cut out of the story. It was okay. I didn't like the middle was good. Like, I loved the middle. I love the story. I love the plot. I thought that some things of this book could have been left out, you know, but it was just a little slow in the middle. And also, there are these points where she cursed, and that's fine. It's fine to curse in a book. And I understand that even with psychosis, you curse sometimes and you get like a little crazy. You step out of your body, you step out of reality, and that's fine. The only thing is that she barely cursed, and if she did, it was fine if she cursed, but there was this one moment where she would just curse, and it was be like really rough, like F this, F that, whatever, like sticking up her middle fingers, and like she never ever acts like that, so I was kind of confused. Like, yeah, she's at the doctor's office at that time, but it's kind of weird. Maybe she was showing off in front of the doctor. It was fine, but it didn't really influence my my rating at all. I still thought this book was so well written, and I loved the plot. I loved the I loved the thought that he had. This is by, let me think, David Arnold. Yes, it's by David Arnold. Because he has 2 first names, and I always switch them all the time, so I was glad. It's by David Arnold. Another thing that I like is that the book cover, is it called? Book cover, it's like a continuation. I love it, and it's like so cute because that's the bus that she goes on, and that's her sitting with her little journal and writing to her aunt, and I think that's so cute. I think that this is a book that you will definitely have a lot of feels for, especially during the ending. You're just like crying and sobbing. It's like, this book isn't even about love life, and she has a little bit of that, and I cried in that, and I don't even know, like, it's crazy how much this book can string into your emotions, and I think that's a great thing, because that's what books are supposed to do. I mean, it depends on what you're going for, but this book was about mental illness, and what do you want? If you want to portray that, yes, you have a mental illness, but it's okay, but still get a freaking tearjerker of emotions, and that's what David Arnold did, and I'm honestly so glad that he wrote Mosquitoland. This is so amazing. I love the back. I'm going to read you the back because it's so cute. It really portrays this book so well. It says, "I am a collection of oddities, a circus of neurons and electrons. My heart is a ringmaster, my soul is a trapeze artist, and the world is my audience, and it sounds strange because it is, and it is because I am strange." I love this book. Well, that's it for this review. I really recommend this book to a lot. I recommend this to everyone. If you're in middle school, if you're in high school, if you're an adult, if you're going through mental health issues, if you have someone that's dealing with, if you have a mother that's dealing with sickness, and I love this book so much. I think that anyone could read it, and I really recommend it to everyone. So that's it for this review. I know you're going to have a lot more reviews and a lot more videos. I'm really trying to upload once a week, hopefully. I don't have a camera yet because it broke, but it's okay. I will deal with that. Please subscribe, smash that like button. Please share this video for anyone that you really want to recommend this book to. Please comment down below of any other books that you want me to review, or any other types of videos that you want me to create, book themed, because, you know, Barry's Corner. And please come again next time. Bye!